Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome to the present day. Or is it? Welcome back to our Valant Wilde World. We are your inexperts. I am Austin.
And I'm Felicia. And this is a podcast all about facts about this big, beautiful ball in space that we call Earth. Say, Austin.
Say what?
Don't you just love the way that grass looks over there when the wind blows through it at just the right speed?
Man, it looks incredible. It looks delicious. I'm gonna have some.
I wouldn't eat the grass. And actually, while you're at it, I wouldn't drink the water either.
What? No water? What do you mean? What do you mean I can't eat the grass? This is my right as an American to eat the grass on the lawn.
Well, first off, it's not a lawn. It's wild, and I don't know what species of grass that is. It might be poisonous. And two, you can't drink the water because we might get cholera.
Huh. Yeah, okay, that's pretty bad, huh?
Yes, it is. And the reason why you might get cholera is because it's time for us to saddle up and get back on this podcast. Because yee-haw and yippee-ki-yay, motherfuckers. It's U.S. frontier history time.
Oh yeah, let's go. West Virginia, Mama Mountains,
That's
country
not far
roads.
enough west.
Oh, the only song I know about the West is Hotel California, and that is not applicable for what we're talking about today.
No, we're talking about ye old cowboys and miners and manifest destiny.
Oh, well, I mean, I don't have any facts about manifest destiny because that's a bullshit concept.
I mean, I don't have any specifically on manifest destiny, but isn't manifest destiny the underlying theme throughout all of U.S. frontier history?
Well, some of it is outlawism, saying fuck you to this. So, like, not quite.
Okay, fair enough.
A lot of it was gun, shoot, shoot. Not actually, though. Funny enough, in doing my research, this is, I guess, a mini fact here. Turns out, no, there wasn't actually that much gunfighting.
Turns out, we accidentally made a meme out of our own culture, and that's not what Western culture looked like at all.
We stereotyped ourselves. Hollywood has incepted your mind. Actually, speaking of this, I got a fact that is directly related to this. May I go?
Yes.
Okay, this fact, I did a dummy amount of research for. I actually did like 2 hours of research just for this one fact, and I fucking read a book. Thank you to the Dictionary of the American West by Wynne Belvins, The Shootist by Glendon Swarthout, and Barry Popkin. The term gunslinger was never used to describe individuals with guns during the frontier period / the Wild West. The name was actually coined and then popularized, I can't speak today, by Western fiction media written between 1915 and 1920. The two terms that were most used were either gunfighter or gunman. However, some of the more obscure names include a shootist, a pistolero, a pronto man, a short trigger man, and my personal favorite, and the entire reason I chose this fact, a leather slapper.
I don't know. What was the pistolero? I like pistolero.
Yes, pistolero is pretty good, actually.
What are you, a pistolero?
I don't know how to respond to that, except I'm just a little pissed.
Oh my goodness. That is a Leave it to America to invent terms that we never used for our own history.
I know exactly what leather slapper means in this context, but it has nothing to do with guns. Literally everything else, every other term that I described here, guns, right? You know, those shooty bang bang weapons. No, leather slapper, that involves the horse. That's the saddle. But
Mayhaps not.
oh?
Holsters. Holsters would have been made of leather during this time, so an intimidation tactic probably would have been to just, like, slap your holster. Be like, hey, I got a gun here. I'm gonna slap it, even though it has a really high rate of injury. Probably.
I can't even imagine just slapping the gun. Like, pat pat. You see this? Pat pat. This is your doom. Pat pat. Like, that is literally... I don't feel intimidated by that at all, actually. It's silly. It makes me think like you're petting it like a cat. Oh, this is my pet gun.
Oh, goodness. That is a little silly.
But I mean, I guess it...
We should have just stuck with pistolero. Gunslinger,
I think Gunslinger is a little more badass. 'Cause I just love the idea of, like, the quick fire motion of, you know, gun, hand, sling it to your doom. But, like, also... Yes?
See, gunslinger itself is a misnomer, isn't it? Because you're not actually slinging the gun. You're not chucking the gun at some guy's face. Hence why pistolero was always the best. Especially because cowboys were heavily influenced by Mexicans and Mexican Americans.
See, now
Bring it back.
Now I need, in the next sort of Western parody movie that there is that when they do say, I'm a gunslinger, they actually do just straight up chuck their gun at someone and knock them out cold. Because I think that'd be the best gag.
It's that one Spider-Man comic.
Which comic?
It's the Spider-Man comic where it's like Deadpool and Spider-Man are getting into a fight, and Spider-Man pulls out a gun, and Deadpool's like, oh my god, this is it, this is the moment. And then he just kind of chucks the gun at the guy's face, and it goes off and hits Deadpool.
I think I know what you're talking about. I think I've seen that. That's a Tumblr post, right?
It's a something.
It sure is, but that's comedy fucking gold.
It's so good.
Just using weapons wrong is a pretty funny trope.
It's hilarious.
You see this fucking sword? I'm gonna hold it by the blade and knock you out with the hilt. You see that? That's how you do it.
Wait, you mean it's not supposed to hurt every time I grab it?
Well, that's why you hold it with the sheath on.
Ah.
See, it's a blunt object, not a slashing object. That's what most people get wrong about this.
Got it.
I'm glad.
Okay. Should I say my next fact? Or my first fact, I should say?
Damn, your next fact. Oh man, we're going through these fast. We're flying through these Wild West hotcakes like they're bullets flying through the air, which still didn't happen that often.
Nope.
Yes, you may go.
Okay. So, everybody knows, or, well, most Americans know, about the Oregon Trail. But there wasn't actually just the Oregon Trail. There were actually several major trails. The Oregon, the California, the Mormon, the Santa Fe, and the Old Spanish Trail. So, 3 of them, the Mormon, the California, and the Oregon Trail, basically all cut the same path from St. Louis or Independence, Missouri, across the plains all the way to Colorado. Now in Colorado, the branches split, and the Mormons go to Utah, and everybody else goes slightly to the north, to Fort Hall, which is in Idaho. Then they split, and Oregon keeps going up, and California goes south. Oregon goes to Portland, California Trail goes to Sutter's Fort, aka Sutter's Mill. Then the other 2, the Santa Fe Trail, goes from Independence, Missouri to Santa Fe, New Mexico. And we didn't even trailblaze this one. The Spanish did this, and then a couple 100 years later, we were just like, okay, ours now. And we did the same thing. And then the old Spanish trail goes from Santa Fe to Los Angeles. But it's got 2 sides.
Oh.
You can either go north to the San Luis Valley, following the Gunnison and Colorado rivers, down to Green River, Utah, or you can go south past the San Juan Mountains to Green River, Utah. And from there, they go through the Mojave Desert to San Gabriel Mission and LA. And that's it. There's not just the Oregon Trail. There were like 5 trails.
See, now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to make an Oregon Trail parody, except name it after one of these other trails.
I mean, it's basically the same. Everybody gets cholera and dies.
Brutal.
I mean, that was just the Oregon Trail, baby.
But it wasn't just the Oregon Trail, though. That's the whole point of your fact.
I mean, yeah. But also, no. They all had basically the same problems. You travel in a wagon. It's the same people. The people upstream of you have cholera, and the cholera travels downriver to you. You get it. You die, or you carry it upwards and keep on going.
It's like hot potato of cholera.
Hot potato of cholera. Love it.
Hey, I don't want cholera anymore, so I'm gonna just, pass it to you.
Oh, no. You don't get rid of the cholera. You keep having the cholera. You just give it to somebody else.
Huh.
So it's less like hot potato, I guess, and more like replicating potato?
Tag. No, it's like sharks and minnows.
Yes, it's like sharks and minnows.
God, is that a reference that people are gonna actually understand? 'Cause I think sharks and minnows probably has other different names. I just know that our schools use that term.
Maybe? I don't know. Sharks and Minnows is a child game where you run around and you play tag.
Hold up here. It's not just a child's game. It's for all ages.
Okay, but just because it's for all ages doesn't mean that it's not. Children invented it. Therefore, it is a child's game. Wait a second hopscotch.
Here. Wait a second. I don't think children
or Monopoly.
Actually invented. Oh, holy shit! Wait a second here. I don't think children invented Monopoly. Monopoly is its own beast of a creature, but I'm pretty sure that was made by an adult? Question mark?
No, only children could come up with a game so torturous and long and rife with backstabbing and paper money. Children love paper money.
I mean, yes, children do love paper money, but children love rewards. I mean, when you're trying to raise something, you want positive encouragement, and one of the easiest ways to do it is through giving them rewards, and money is a pretty big one. Actually, so I mean, one, I know this for 2 reasons. The first being that I went to my local YMCA camp, summer camp, for I think at least 5 years, and I was a top earner of that YMCA cash because I made an arrangement with a janitor that I really liked to pick up trash around the building and the outside, and she would pay me those YMCA bucks, so I was always rolling in them. And then 2, I also worked at that local YMCA for 3 years, so I understand how they want you to help guide the children towards better attitudes.
Wait, back up.
What? Yes.
The YMCA has its own currency?
It did. It got rid of it between the time of when I was I don't know, 10, 11, to when I started working there when I was 18.
Okay, well, I'm co-opting this. It's my parenting strategy now. I didn't get an allowance, but I can make fake money to give my kid a fake allowance.
I mean, I don't think that's actually a bad idea, but like I think a
Teach
better
your
way of
kids
doing it
money
would...
systems early.
Sure, I agree here, but I personally wouldn't think that giving them like just a fake dollar would work. I always would like kind of like.
Well, no, of course you have to have a fake store. You have to set up the whole economy. You can't just like flood the market with dollar bills and not have anything they can do with it. You need like a cabinet that can lock, that you can put like candy or popcorn or Twinkies in, and like your kid has to save up the fake currency to buy the stuff, and the store's only open during certain hours of the day.
This is not
you
where I
have
thought
to make
this
your
was
own
going.
microeconomy. You have to
No.
provide the currency and the goods, and in return, your child will perform services.
See, like, I was actually thinking here that would be like they get the fake money or the fake currency, and then they exchange it for real money, but like at a severely disproportionate cost. Like, I don't know, like get 5 kid bucks and earn $1, you know? Like something like that.
What? No. Come on. I'm going full 1800s.
Make a micro-economy for your kids.
I'm going full 1800s microeconomy on this. If you do work in the house, you can earn house money, which can only be redeemed at the house store.
I can't believe we're gonna make Felicia coin.
Actually, I was thinking of Wilde Bucks.
Ooh, Wild Bucks is pretty good, actually.
Yeah. Although the coins can just have maple on them.
Oh, you're a genius.
I've struck gold.
Although that requires us to get metal to print into coins, and the only... I can't say the only way I know how to do it is that way, because it's not actually how you would do it, but my mind went to, at zoos or museums where they'll have, like, the penny crank, you'll put in a penny, and it will flatten it and give it a new design. That's what I'm thinking here. I mean, like, we could technically do that. What
if we just 3D printed plastic coins and then painted them silver?
That's actually a pretty solid idea. And you know what? It's not fraud, because it's not US dollars, it's our own dollars. We make the currency. It's ours.
Right, and I'm not suspect to antitrust or anti-corporation laws because I'm an individual.
At this point, we might as well just become a micronation.
Don't tempt me.
God, me too, actually.
There are several micronations already in existence, but that's a different episode.
That is a different episode. Also, $10 to whoever wants to design us a micronation flag.
Coward, $15.
Fine, $15. I am putting up yet another bounty. I don't know how quickly this one will be claimed, but we will see, huh?
Yes.
Oh, dear Lord. Okay. Do you have anything else to say about the multiple trails?
No. There are There are even more than what I've named, which are like little branches of each one. If you want to go to Wikipedia and just like go hog wild.
Shh. No, you can't tell them to go to Wikipedia. Then that defeats our job. We have to be the middleman for information.
There are literally like another 50 different trails that are only like 4 to 5 miles long. I am not gonna sit here and read off the Wikipedia page when y'all have reading comprehension skills of at least a middle schooler, so you can read Wikipedia.
What up? I'm the OVWW cast audience, and we never learned how to read.
Our average age is 19 and we never learned how to read.
sometimes you just never learn how to read, you know?
Are you Jared?
I that's my middle name now. I am Austin Jared Valant.
Okay, Austin Jared Valant. How about you give me
I
your
hate
next
this already.
fact?
I was never meant to be a Jared. Absolutely not.
Yeah, no.
Okay, alright. Did you ask if I wanted to go next?
Yeah, I asked for your next fact.
Okay, let's go. This is a big boy.
I'm ready.
Thank you to yet again, Wikipedia. Elmer McCurdy was a plumber turned outlaw who, for what would be his last robbery, planned to hold up a train with $40,000 worth of royalties to the Osage Nation, which, in 2020 terms, is equivalent to literally $1 million. I did the math on that.
Okay.
However, he and his accomplices accidentally end up robbing a passenger train that escaped with only $46 from the mail clerk aboard. 3 days later, McCurdy was tracked down and after an hour-long shootout, was killed by a trio of sheriffs. His corpse was embalmed with an arsenic-based preservative by Joseph L. Johnson in an attempt to preserve the body until claimed by McCurdy's next of kin. When no one claimed him, Johnson used McCurdy's body as an attraction at his funeral home, dressing him in a bandit attire for the exhibit. After gaining popularity, 2 men came to claim McCurdy's body, claiming to be his long-lost brothers. Johnson released the body to them and the men. Johnson released the body to them, and the men, the Patterson's brothers, and not relatives of McCurdy, set off to Kansas to use his body in a traveling circus. McCurdy's body would be used as an attraction, sold and moved all across the country until 1976, where, upon the shooting of an episode of The $6 Million Man, a crew member, believing the body to be a mannequin, a part of the funhouse they were shooting at, moved the body and accidentally broke McCurdy's arm off. In the next year, after the discovery of McCurdy's body, he was identified as McCurdy and given a proper burial in Oklahoma. Ladies and gentlemen, Weekend at Bernie's actually happened.
My guy really died over $46 and then spent the rest of his afterlife as a prop. Like, who did he piss off?
Apparently just the wrong people.
Over $46. I'm like talking deities pissed off at him. Man, that's some cosmic level karma for something.
Well, hold on here. This is a call out post to Joseph L. Johnson, cause what the fuck, man? what the fuck? Just let the body rest!
Yeah, I was expecting you to be like, yeah, we used his corpse we used his corpse as medical training for the doctors, but nope. Hey, my funeral home isn't getting as much visits as I needed to. Guess I better prop a corpse up in the corner, dressed as a bandit.
That's the wildest thing about this. Like, why do you need an attraction?
I like this story even less now.
For a funeral home? Just this poor man. This poor man.
This poor guy, he gets murdered by 3 separate people over $46.
The man was looking at $1 million.
He got shit on for like 100 years.
Oh.
This guy, over $46.
Look, I know it's taboo. I know there are some people who get loved ones taxidermied. This is a whole other level. This is pretending a dead person is fucking like a prop. hey, look at the funny man, ha ha ha, swing his arms, you know, like at least with Weekend at Bernie's, they straight up knew that the guy was dead and just puppeted around. Literally, basically, people stopped remembering that this guy was dead.
That's even funnier. Okay, nope. Now I'm grossing myself out. Can we move on?
I think that's fair. I apologize about this. We will make sure to tag this with a little bit of body horror.
Yeah. Oh, now I gotta decide which of my 2 remaining facts I want to do first. Do I want to... Actually, no. Okay, I'm gonna do chemistry first. Okay.
Alright, lay me down some chemistry. Brew me up some... I almost said potions, but that's not how chemistry works. That's wizardry.
I mean, no, potions are just magic, is just magic chemistry. It's alchemy, which is just magic chemistry.
Yeah, well, kind of, but also, like, theoretically, if you just, like, shift around the atomic composition of a substance, you can, in fact, actually practice alchemy. We've done it before, at least on a few late periodic table elements.
Well, yeah, that's because people thought they were doing alchemy, and it turns out alchemy is just chemistry.
Fair enough. Chemist me up, baby.
Alright, so this is kind of about a potion.
Oh!
I'm gonna talk about the washoe process, which, okay, the frontier in the 1860s, especially, was this huge place of technological innovation. And at the time, the way that we were getting metal out of rocks was a process called pan-amalgamation. So what the washoe process does is takes the idea of pan-amalgamation for silver and makes it faster. We're talking like accelerates from a month down to like 2 days.
Oh, whack.
So the washoe process is you take silver ore, which is typically in the form of silver sulfide, and to that you add copper 2 sulfate, sodium chloride, and mercury, and you chuck that all into an iron tank with an agitator. Think a big, giant, slow iron blender.
Huh.
Oh, and water. You gotta put it in water. So you add salt, copper 2 sulfide, or sulfate, silver ore, and mercury into a giant, slow metal blender. So what happens is the silver ore, the copper sulfate, and the silver chloride, or sodium chloride, the salt, and the iron bits that get shaved off the bottom of the tank undergo a complex chemical reaction. And the best I can tell is that it probably proceeds via a silver chloride intermediate, which basically means that before it finishes, it does like a pit stop at silver chloride. And then silver chloride is photosensitive, which means it degrades under light. And when it degrades, you get native silver, the good stuff, regular old silver metal. What then happens is you get amalgamation with the mercury, which is just a fancy name for they form an alloy, which is a mixture of 2 metals. So mercury forms a mercury-silver amalgamation. This is what gets collected and then heated up. And when you heat it up, you evaporate the mercury and the metals separate, and then you just have chunks of silver. Did you get that?
I am following to the best of my abilities.
Where am I losing you?
Good question.
You put the stuff in a big slow metal blender.
Yes, I understand that.
And it mixes.
Yes, I understand that.
And then you pull out the silver mercury alloy.
Okay.
And then you steam treat it, which evaporates the mercury, and you get regular silver.
Okay. Wow, that's wild.
Yeah, it's a ratio of like 10,000 pounds of silver ore to like, I think it was like to 6 pounds of sodium chloride and like 3 of copper 2 sulfate.
That's a lot of salt.
Well, yeah, you make salt water, and silver in salt water forms sodium chloride, which is why I think it goes through the sodium chloride intermediate.
Probably?
Probably, especially because silver sulfide would probably form a buffer with the copper 2 sulfate, even though they're not the same, they're kind of close.
Okay.
And the iron is most likely serving as a catalyst. So, the big thing is that when they were doing this, it was revolutionary because the pan amalgamation was invented in like the 1600s by ancient Latin Americans.
Wow.
And it was almost 200 years before somebody was like, hey, what if we could do better? And it turns out the whole thing that they were missing to make it go faster is the iron.
You know, that is really phenomenal, actually.
The process worked pretty decently. I mean, one of the major exports of that area was silver, simply because they had the mines and then they figured out how to get pure silver out. Unfortunately, we used a lot of mercury that we couldn't capture back yet, so the world's mercury stores are a little short.
Huh. It's kind of like a helium situation, isn't it?
Oh my god, it is a helium situation.
It is literally a helium situation. I mean, like, mercury is being used for, I would say, pretty legitimate reasons, but the whole reason we have a helium shortage is because we just really like pretty balloons.
Okay, but to be fair, for a long time we weren't using mercury for good reasons. We just figured out it could rise and we put it in thermometers, even though it was highly poisonous to us in its native state.
Yes.
And we didn't look for a better situation until a whole bunch of people died.
I mean, I agree, but you only get mercury poisoning from the thermostat if you drink it.
No.
What?
If you it can be absorbed through the skin, I believe.
Oh, that's horrifying.
That's why glass thermometers usually have multiple layers of glass. Actually, most glass thermometers you handle these days won't have mercury in them anymore.
Fair enough. Okay, that explains a few things. To be fair, though, we did realize that we did need multiple layers of glass, and thermometers are pretty important things, especially they've just really been always important, honestly.
Yeah.
We do kind of need to know what temperature it is. I mean, we could always be like, is this cold enough? No. Is this cold enough? Yeah, closer. It's cold enough. That's freezing. My arm is falling off. I got frostbite now.
I mean, that was what we did with early chemistry when we were trying to figure out what temperature things needed to be to become solid. We would just kind of be like, is this cold enough? How about this? What about that?
I mean, sure.
And then we realized some things won't get cold until you hit absolute zero, and we were like, guess we gonna wait on that one. And now we can get down to close to absolute zero, but we can't get absolute zero.
Really?
I don't think the technology is there yet. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I can't. I have no idea.
That was not directed towards you. I know that you cannot tell me if chemistry technology exists or not.
Now I can. I have PhD in chemistry.
No.
This has been the worst edition of Two Truths and a Lie.
Do you mean all lies?
That's right. All lies, baby.
Oh my goodness. Game is built for you to lose.
Wait, hold on a second here. Is it? Are you saying here that I bad liar? Because that's true, and I will give you that. But is that what you're saying here?
No.
Oh, what do you mean then by this game is meant for you to lose?
I mean, if you're playing Two Truths and a Lie, and someone gives you all lies, the game is built for you to lose.
Ah, fair enough. It's a tricky one. It's a tricky question.
Yes. Tweak.
Hehe. Fool you.
I don't know what we're referencing right now.
I'm not referencing anything. I'm just a dirty liar boy. I'm gonna lie to everyone. Hey, you, yeah, come here, yeah. All right, you're ugly. Haha, that was a lie. You're beautiful. Have a good day. Haha.
That was the most wholesome bit.
Wholesome lying. Wholesome liar man. Let's go. Yee-haw. Get on my saddle. Haha, that's a lie. I don't own a saddle. I do own arrows. Haha, that's also a lie. I only own one arrow and I found it.
You have an arrow?
I do have an arrow. In my neighborhood there's a path I walk. There's a path I usually walk when I'm going on walks, and when I was like, I don't know, 12 or 13, kind of just found a random arrow in the ground, and I just took it, and I still have it. It's actually behind my amiibo shelf.
Ah, that's why I can't see it. It's blocked by all the lovely amiibos.
It is, in fact, blocked by almost every single amiibo in existence.
I am aware.
Well, the audience might not be, by the way. I am an amiibo addict.
This man collects amiibos. This man is addicted to buying small electronic figurines.
Yeah, and they're good.
Nothing. You insisted we inform
That's
the
why
audience.
this episode is sponsored by Nintendo's Amiibos.
This man
Scan them into your
addicted
favorite
to
games and
buying
get all sorts
small
of good
electronic
rewards.
figurines.
Okay, may I go?
Yes. Tell me about Lewis and Clark.
Thank you to Wikipedia, Francis Hunter's American Heroes blog, and National Geographic.
Woo, Nat Geo.
Nat Geo.
The OG.
In 1803, Meriwether Lewis of Lewis and Clark purchased 193 pounds of a food called portable soup from I think this is Francosis?
Francois.
Oh, Francois. Oh, fuck. Is that really how you spell Francois?
It's French.
Oh my god. Francois Bellet, a cook in Philadelphia. The portable soup in question is made by repeatedly reducing beef until it is gel-like and then dried until it has no moisture left. He paid $289.50 for 32 tin canisters of the stuff to be used in case of emergency on their expedition. It would not be until September 14th, 1805, when the crew first opened their cans of portable soup, as they were getting very, very desperate. The taste of the portable soup was so rancid that the crew chose to starve themselves further, struggling to find and feed everyone with just the wild peasants that they could find along the way, until 4 days later, when they found, killed, and ate a horse instead.
Oh my god.
This is literally the worst food in existence, apparently.
I mean...
If you're desperate and you only have portable soup, apparently choose to starve, I guess.
I mean, so from a food standpoint, he basically made condensed beef soup, beef stock.
Yeah, it literally
and
just...
then made it in... He literally made powdered beef stock?
It's not powdered beef stock, it's gelatin beef stock.
Well, no. He said it dried until there was no moisture left. Would make it into, like, a powder. Or a brick.
Oh, that's even worse. Oh my god.
Oh no. He made beef stew pudding. And then powderized it. And of course, at this point in time, there was no, like, preservatives.
No, that was the way to preserve it. Gotta get all the moisture out.
It wouldn't have lasted 2 years. Especially not in those conditions.
32 canisters
the
for
optimal storage.
$300.
My man bought experimental soup for way overpriced. And then it was just bad soup. It's just bad soup.
Again, I must reiterate here, soup so bad, you choose to starve over having it.
That's some really bad soup.
I mean, at least they were lucky enough to survive 2 years without needing to use it. But, like, I can't believe September 14th, 1805 was the day of culinary reckoning.
Meanwhile, Francois is just like, I sold this guy trash. French laughter.
In the distance, on that day, Francois hears the suffering cries of Lewis and Clark, and he goes, "They've done it. My job is complete." And slowly, a door opens behind him. Behind him is a fiery inferno. His shape reverts. He is, in fact, Lucifer, the Prince of Hell himself. And he walks back into his domain, laughing at the misery of the explorers.
So fucking funny. Soup so bad you won't want to eat it. Soup so bad you'd rather starve.
I can't. Why did they think it was a good idea to use it after 2 years?
Because
that's my question.
In a normal canning process, it would be. Canning at that time would be like jams and jellies and pickles. And they would be okay at the end of 2 years. Except beef soup was not meant to be canned. The process of canning changes the flavor of... Oh no, it changed the flavor.
Oh my god, it probably did. No wonder it tasted, quote-unquote,
that would be
rancid.
Okay, the rancidity would be the anaerobic conditions.
But it probably didn't taste good as well.
Francois, you were a shitty cook. I'm gonna dunk on old people.
Oh my god. New Patreon goal. By the way, we have a Patreon. We'll get to that later. New Patreon goal. We will make portable soup for ourselves.
Oh god,
and try
no,
it.
I don't want to make beef. I don't want to take beef stock and reduce it until it's gelatin, and then shove that in the oven for like 5 hours until all the moisture evaporates. Because in order to it would be like in the oven for 5 hours at like 100 degrees. And then to eat it, we would have to put more water in it and stir it up. Oh, please don't make me do this.
We'd only need to take a bite. A slurp.
Please don't make me do this. I don't even like soup that much. No, wait, we can't even do that, because then I would have to take the soup powder and can it, and we would have to put it away for 2 years.
Oh, okay, like, I'm not thinking we'd do the 2 years thing. Just have some portable soup.
Or we could just go buy a packet of instant soup mix.
What I guess we could do that. I guess we'd have to look into that more, because I don't know if they'd actually, like, sell portable soup mix.
No, but they sell instant soup mix.
That's fair.
Whack.
What Felicia didn't realize is that, in truth, I was Francois, and I was Satan, and I have tortured her into getting Patreon donators to make her have the portable soup. And yes, again, Satan wins!
Hey, Francois?
Oh, I go by my real name.
Alright, Lucifer's Francois?
Yes.
Why are you speaking like that when you're French?
Do you know how hard it is to just not go wee wee?
You're still not doing a French accent, though. It's vaguely European.
I know I'm not. But the problem here is that all I'm going to do here is just go, haha, wee wee, baguette, because, newsflash here. The French are good for baguettes and the Eiffel Tower.
And the Louvre. The Louvre. And the catacombs.
Well, hold on here. Okay, that's a fair point. Satan does love those catacombs.
Figured you would.
I mean,
Absolutely not. I too love decorating the walls and skulls of my fallen enemies.
exactly. It's poetic.
I can't do this anymore.
All right. What's your final fact?
Are you ready for a story?
I am in fact ready for a very Lewis and Clark story.
Well, I'm not going to tell you a story about Lewis and Clark. I am going to tell you a story about their shitty southern counterpart, the Pike Expedition.
Okay. Not a great name already.
It is named after U.S. military lieutenant Zebulon Pike Jr.
Well, hold on a second here. I take this back. That's a fantastic name. Can you repeat that for me?
Zebulon Pike Jr.
Zebulon.
Zebulon.
Zebulon?
Zebulon.
I'll let you finish, but we have to come back to that.
Okay. Pike and 70 other people left Fort Bellefontaine near St. Louis on July 15th, 1806. Then they went to the border of Kansas and Missouri and dropped off 50 Native American hostages that were part of the 70 and kept going. They went to southern Nebraska and met with the Pawnee tribe of Native Americans in September. And then they kept going south until they hit the Arkansas River on October 14th. This is where Zebulon Pike screws up.
Oh.
The first time.
Oh, okay.
In blatant disregard of something every dungeon master will tell you, the party split.
Oh boy, here we go.
Some folks turn around and make it safely back to St. Louis. The other part, including Zebulon Pike, keep going west. They pass several mountains, one of which will forever bear Pike's name, Pike's Peak.
Oh boy.
And they eventually get to the foot of the Rocky Mountains on December 7th. Here begins mess up number 2.
Oh boy.
No one was prepared for a winter expedition.
Oh my god.
Zebulon Pike decides to lead his men into the mountains in the winter. Mess up number 3. They go in a giant circle.
Oh my god.
They go north to the Platte River, which then they follow upstream until what they think is the Red River. And they follow this right back down to where they started. Because it wasn't the Red River. It was the Arkansas River.
Oh my god.
They keep heading south until they hit the Rio Grande on January 30th, having only 11 people left. They then follow the Rio Grande, still thinking it's a completely different river, all the way down to Alamosa in southern Colorado, and they start building a fort. There is one problem.
And this is screw up number 4.
Zebulon Pike starts building his fort in Spanish territory.
Oh my god!
On February 26th, the entire company was arrested as spies. The Spanish actually went back through the mountains and found everybody that Zebulon Pike left. And then they were marched all the way through Santa Fe and El Paso, Texas, to Los Cobos in Chihuahua, Mexico. Here, this is where the governor of the area pardons and releases most of the party, and then soldiers escort the released party members through San Antonio and leave them at Natchitoches, Louisiana, on July 1st, 1807. However, not everybody was released. Some party members were held in a Mexican prison for years.
Oh boy. Oh no.
And this is the story of Lieutenant Zebulon Pike, aka Shitty Lewis and Clark.
I would honestly, if you didn't have sources and I didn't trust you, I would have genuinely believed that you just made that up. Because there were so many things there that are just like, are you fucking kidding me?
You mean how Zebulon Pike was entirely unprepared for a winter campaign, and instead of heading back to St. Louis, he was like, nah, we're gonna go through the mountains.
This man, this one dumbass, actually managed to survive a winter in the mountains. He didn't survive a winter in the mountains. He managed to fucking go through the mountains, going through a winter expedition. He definitely fucked up, but I cannot believe he actually got out of there fine. I can't believe it's the Spanish that got him.
Which is funny, because later he gets heralded for basically writing about the Spanish military, which helps in the Spanish-American War shortly after this.
So this man ends up actually being a spy. Just in retrospect, the man was in fact a spy.
Yeah, except he did all of his spying after he got arrested.
Oh, what a dumb motherfucker. Dumb motherfucker.
Zebulon Pike was not blessed with brains. All of his blessing went into his badass name.
I cannot believe a name like Zebulon, A, went to that dipshit, but B, even existed back then, because that sounds straight out of a sci-fi novel. Oh hey, you know the new Star Wars main character? Zebulon. You know, that seems right. Or maybe a Star Trek character. Actually, Zebulon sounds more like a Star Trek character.
It's biblical.
What?
Zebulon is the sixth son of Jacob and Leah, which, if you know your Bible...
I don't, by the way.
Jacob and Leah are... Jacob is a son of Isaac, I believe?
Yeah. Wait, which story is the one where the father is tested by God to kill his son, and he's about to do it before God says... No, excuse me, an angel says, "No, bro, you did it. You proved your faith. Now don't kill." And the father's like, "Well, fuck, you prepared me for all this shit, but fine, I guess."
That would be Abraham and Isaac. Abraham the father and Isaac the son.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Jacob is the grandson of Abraham. Jacob... Yeah. Jacob and his brother... Because this is a wild story.
What was that for?
Because I remembered the story. Jacob and his brother Esau were born. Esau is a werewolf of a man. He's absolutely covered in hair. And he's technically the firstborn.
Oh, so he's me.
No, even hairier.
Oh, what? Hello?
He's literally said as if he was wearing a hairy garment. And he's been that way since birth. No, Esau is technically the firstborn.
Wait a second. I'm sorry to keep interrupting you here, but are you saying that this kid came out just completely covered with hair? Like,
yes.
Fine. Hair over the head? Fine. Eyebrows? Fine. This kid is straight up gone through puberty in the womb.
Yes, he's come out completely covered in red hair.
That's just a werewolf. That is just a fact, a werewolf pup.
Well, wait. Esau is technically the firstborn. So he's supposed to go and get Isaac's blessing to get basically all of Isaac's stuff.
Ah.
But Jacob is a mama's boy. And Rebecca sees that Esau's gonna get everything and Jacob's gonna get, like, a little bit of nothing. And Isaac is blind at this point because he's old as hell. because everybody lived to be like 200 in Abrahamic times. So Rebecca, seeing that Esau is about to go get everything, is like, Jacob, come here. I'm gonna get you everything you deserve. And Jacob was like, okay, Mom. And Rebecca covers her son's arms in goat skin.
Oh.
So that he's just as hairy as his brother. And Jacob goes and pretends to be his twin brother.
What?
And gets everything. And then and then Esau comes home and is like, Dad, I'm back, and I'm ready to receive your blessing. And Isaac's like, I already gave it to you? He's like, Dad, you couldn't have given it to me. I was out hunting all morning.
And they all had a bra moment.
Well, because Isaac literally made Jacob the ruler over his brothers.
Oh. Huh, that terminology doesn't seem right, but I guess this is biblical, huh?
Yeah.
You, my brother, you're my peasant. Fetch me a root beer, peasant.
And then I do believe Jacob goes on to father Joseph, like Joseph in the Technicolor Dreamcoat Joseph.
Good. Beautiful. Fabulous.
So, yeah. Zebulon is Jacob, one of Jacob's sons.
Can we bring Zebulon back?
Sure.
Next. Oh my god. Next RPG character I make, I'm gonna name him Zebulon. You gotta hold me to this now. He will be Zebulon.
He's gotta be an ASMR.
Well, hold on here. Not necessarily. It doesn't have to be necessarily Dungeons or Dragons. Could be like other RPG.
Okay, fair enough.
I mean, I do understand we play a D&D a lot, but also it might be fun to play other game. I don't know. I've always kind of had a craving to play Monster of the Week.
Fair.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a famous person named Zebulon, but oh no, I'm thinking of Pike. Pike's the name of the fantasy pair. Star Trek fans will know Pike as Captain Pike or Admiral Pike.
Oh, that makes sense. When I hear Zebulon, I think of Zap Brannigan from Futurama.
Fair.
Do you know who Zap is?
Nope. Is that the crab?
No, that's Zoidberg. He would be a Zebulon, though, actually. I'd give you that. No, Zap Brannigan is the Starfleet captain, who's just macho man, but complete and utter misogynist douchebag.
Oh.
He's got like blonde hair.
The red shirt.
I don't want to say. It's not, yeah. Don't call him a Chad. He does not deserve that title. He is very much an incel.
It's fine. He's a red shirt, so he's gonna die even though every shot misses him.
He has died before on the show, so like.
It's because he's a red shirt.
Fair enough.
Star Trek fans are losing their mind in the background because they know what I'm talking about with because he's a red shirt. Engineering gets shit on.
I mean, like, they did just come out with the new Star Trek Below Deck show, which is an animated comedy.
That I've heard misses the point of Star Trek completely.
It probably does. I mean, like, Star Trek can be funny, but it's never been, like, a full comedy. And it really, in my opinion, probably shouldn't.
No, I meant the leftist part of it.
Oh.
Star Trek is unabashedly progressive.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. Oh boy, I can't wait to hear Seth MacFarlane's voice on Below Deck saying, "Hey Picard, kiss my ass," and just ejects himself into space while mooning.
That makes me uncomfortable.
I'm very sorry.
Captain Kirk would not stand for this.
Oh, no, absolutely not. That's why he's ejected. Look, what I'm saying here is that Peter Griffin would die on Star Trek.
He deserves that red shirt.
Peter has a white shirt.
You're missing the joke.
No, okay. I do think it's time that we sign off.
Okie dokie. Thank you, everybody for listening. Thank you to Nora, aka Bright On, for composing our intro and outro theme song. Thank you to Oz, aka Donut, for making our lovely cover art.
Yes, thank you both so much. We value your contribution to the podcast so much. If you like what you hear, consider signing up for our Patreon. We have a variety of different tiers, including ones that will get you special access to our inner sanctum to talk with us, get an episodic shout out to you. That's right, you. I'm talking to you. Do you hear me? I'm talking to you. All of these rewards and more can be found at patreon.com/Our Valant Wilde World. And also, if you'd like to see more from us, please consider going to ourvalantwildworld.com, where you can find all of the previous episodes, future episodes, and all sorts of other things, including our Discord server. Alright, are you ready to saddle up and head out into the sunset?
Yeah, let's giddy up and get a move on.
Yee-haw, my partner.
Yee-haw.
Yee-haw.
And yippee-ki-yay.
Thank you for being out of this Valant Wild World.